Hello student, welcome back to our MSc Second Physics Semester 3rd course, that is Physics of Semiconductor Devices, and our subject code is PHCT231, and we are studying our 4th module, that is Metal and Metal Insulator Semiconductor Devices, and in that we have covered most of the part of this module. We have studied about the metal semiconductor contact, how the deflection layer is formed in between the metal and semiconductor. Also we have studied the energy level diagram or energy band diagram of the metal semiconductor. Also we have seen in our previous video the expression for the barrier height, that is the barrier which is formed at the metal semiconductor junction. So we have seen the expression of this barrier height. Now in this video we have to see current transport theory in a Schottky barrier. Now how the current transfer from metal to semiconductor or semiconductor to metal in a Schottky barrier. So let's see. The current transport in a metal semiconductor contacts is due mainly to majority carriers in a contrast to PN junctions where the minority carriers are responsible. You have already seen in your first and second chapter about the PN junction. In a metal semiconductor, the current transfer is only due to majority carriers, but in PN junction, the minority carriers are responsible for the current flow. This is the difference between the PN junction and metal semiconductor contact. That is, in a PN junction only minority carriers are responsible for the conduction of the current, and in a metal semiconductor contacts majority carriers are responsible for the current conduction. So this is the main difference between the PN junction and metal semiconductor contacts. There are 5 main modes of the current transport in a metal semiconductor contact. Now there are different ways to flow the current in a metal semiconductor contact. In general there are 5 ways. The following figure shows the 5 basic transport process under forward bias. In bracket, the inverse process occurs under reverse bias. Already we seen how the Schottky diode behave in a reverse and forward bias. The following figure shows all these phenomena in only forward bias, and in a reverse bias all opposite happens. So in a figure, this is the figure, first, second, third, fourth and fifth. These all are the arrows shown in the figure which shows the direction of the current. That means the current flow from which point to which point. The left hand side is for the metal and right hand side is a N-type semiconductor material. As usual, EFM is the Fermi energy for the metal, and EV is the valence band, EC is the conduction band, and Q phi n is the work function for the semiconductor, and Q phi bn is the barrier height for the metal semiconductor junction. Also in the figure how the electron flows, and we know that the direction of the current is opposite to the flow of electron. So let's see, this is the current transpose process. First process is these are 5 processes are given below. First is the emission of electrons from the semiconductor over the potential barrier into the metal. This is the first current flow, that is as shown in the figure. That is for the first arrow, that is electron flows from the metal semiconductor to metal. We know that at the left hand side there is a metal and right hand side there is a N-type semiconductor. So arrow indicate the direction of the flow of the electrons from the semiconductor over a potential barrier into metal. Second is a quantum mechanical tunneling of electrons through the barrier. It is important for heavily doped semiconductors and responsible for most ohmic contacts. In the second arrow which is shown in the figure, which shows the flow of electron due to tunneling, that is not flow but there is a tunneling of electron through the potential barrier. As you study in a quantum mechanics, when there is a barrier height, then also there is occurrence of the phenomena of the tunneling of the electron, that means the electron tunnel through that barrier, and this is very important in the heavily doped semiconductor, that means where the semiconductor in which there is a highly doping. So this is most of the time responsible for the ohmic contact. Third one is the recombination in the space charge region. We already studied how the space charge region is formed at the deflection layer or at the metal semiconductor contact. So there is a recombination in the space charge region, and due to recombination there is a flow of electron, and due to flow of electron there is also current production. Fourth one is the diffusion process of electrons in the deflection region. We know that some electrons diffuse from the metal to semiconductor or semiconductor to metal, and due to this diffusion process there is a production of the current. Fifth one is the holes injected from the metal that diffuse into the semiconductor. That means sometimes we know that holes are present in the metal, and these holes diffuse into the semiconductor, and due to the diffusion of the hole into the semiconductor there is a production of the current, or current is generated. So all these are the different 5 current transport phenomena which occurs in the metal semiconductor contact. Now in addition we may have edge leakage current due to high electric field at the metal contact periphery, or interface current due to traps at the metal semiconductor interface. As already we studied how the interface traps are formed at the p-n junction, at the metal semiconductor contact. So due to that traps at the interface of the metal semiconductor there is a leakage current, edge leakage current to a high electric field. So this is the one of the additional current to the previous 5 one. For common high mobility semiconductors, the transport can be adequately described by this thermionic emission theory. What means? We know that what do you mean by the thermionic emission? The thermionic emission is nothing but the emission of electron from the metal surface when we apply some heat energy to that metal. So this is the thermionic emission theory. And for common high mobility semiconductors, the transport can be adequately described by this theory. That means some semiconductor materials which have high mobility, and in that semiconductor the transport of the current is described with the help of thermionic emission theory. We shall also consider the diffusion theory applicable to low mobility semiconductor and generalized thermionic emission diffusion theory, that is synthesis of preceding 2 theories. We know that generally there are 2 types of the semiconductor depending on the mobility, that is a high mobility semiconductor and low mobility semiconductor. If we have high mobility semiconductor, then we can study the current transfer for that semiconductor with the help of thermionic emission theory. But if we have the low mobility semiconductors material, then we can study the current transfer phenomena in that semiconductor with the help of diffusion theory, and the combination of these 2 theories is nothing but the thermionic emission diffusion theory. So this is the one of the another theory which combine both these theories, that is a thermionic emission theory and diffusion theory. Schottky diode behavior is to some extent electrically similar to one-sided abrupt p-n junction, and yet the Schottky diode can be operated as a majority carrier device with inherent fast response. This is the advantage of the Schottky diode. That means Schottky diode has a inherent fast response and it is operated as a majority carrier device, and it is a similar, that means it works similar to the one-sided abrupt p-n junction. That means abrupt p-n junction means there is a doping of the semiconductor material. So this is the abrupt p-n junction. So behavior of the Schottky diode is similar to the one-sided abrupt p-n junction, and the advantages are inherent fast response. Thus the terminal function of the p-n junction diode can generally be performed by the Schottky diode, with one exception as a charge storage diode. That means in a p-n junction diode there is a ability to store the charge, but in a Schottky diode this is not allowed. That means there is no charge storage. So this is the disadvantage for the Schottky diode over a PN junction diode. This is because the charge storage time is a majority carriers. In a majority carrier, device is extremely small. We know that the Schottky diode is a majority charge carrier device, and in a majority charge carrier device, the charge storage time is very small. Therefore, the Schottky diode is not used for the charge storage purpose. This is the disadvantage of the Schottky diode. Another difference is the larger current density in a Schottky diode due to the smaller built-in potential as well as nature of the thermionic emission compared to the diffusion. That means larger current density in a Schottky diode due to small built-in potential. In a Schottky diode there is very small built-in potential, and due to that small built-in potential, very large current density is present in the Schottky diode as well as the nature of the thermo emission compared to the diffusion. That means there is a difference between the thermionic emission nature and the diffusion nature. So this is another disadvantage for the Schottky diode, that is a larger current density due to low built-in potential. Next is this result in a much smaller forward voltage drop. By the same token, the disadvantage is a larger reverse current in the Schottky diode and a lower breakdown voltage. That means the another disadvantage for the Schottky diode is the larger reverse current, which we don't want the larger reverse current, but Schottky diode gives the larger reverse current. So this is the disadvantage for the Schottky diode, and also lower breakdown voltage. Generally we want higher breakdown voltage, but in a Schottky diode there is a lower breakdown voltage. So this is another disadvantage for the Schottky diode. So this is all about the Schottky diode advantages and disadvantages and the current transport types which takes place in the Schottky diode, and generally there are 5 types. First is the flow of electron from semiconductor to metal. Second one is the through tunneling. After that there is another third one is the recombination in the space charge region. Fourth one is the diffusion process of the electrons, and last one is the hole injected from the metal to the semiconductor or diffused towards the semiconductor. So all these are the different phenomena of the current transport at the metal semiconductor junction. Now we have to see one by one. That is, first is the thermionic emission theory, second one is the diffusion theory, and after that the combination of these two theories, that is a thermionic emission diffusion theory. So we have to study all these 3 theories, but all these 3 theories we will study in our next video. So we will continue in our next video with first theory, that is a thermionic emission theory. So